Ugh. Alright, this episode of Weird Canadian Kid Shows is about Gerald McBoing-Boing.
Gerald McBoing-Boing.
I don't like saying that.
Gerald McBoing-Boing.
Gerald McBoing-Boing, Gerald McBoing-Boing, Gerald McBoing-Boing. You know when you say something over and over and over and over and over again, it starts to lose all meaning? Saying Gerald McBoing-Boing.
Gerald McBoing-Boing.
McBoing-Boing over and over again makes life lose all meaning. To my understanding, there is an older version of Gerald McBoing-Boing, but I'm going to focus on the one that I grew up with for this episode. I watched a couple of episodes as a refresher, but the one I want to focus on is this one where he's on an airplane. And the reason I want to focus on this one is because look at all that fucking legroom. Jesus Christ. I was on a flight to LA earlier this year and I'm like 6'2", and I felt like I was developing knee problems, lower back problems. Fucking I can't sleep on airplanes. I can't do shit on airplanes. God forbid I get the fucking middle seat. We're here to talk about Gerald McBoing-Boing. What is Gerald McBoing-Boing?
This is the story of Gerald, the most amazing boy around.
When other kids spoke words, he only made this sound.
Yeah, God forbid somebody click on this video and they're like, I wonder what Gerald McBoing-Boing is, and then all of a sudden I'm talking about my flight to LA and how I didn't have any legroom and I can't sleep on fucking airplanes. What is Gerald McBoing-Boing? You haven't told me yet. I don't know what this show is. Okay, well, this is what Gerald McBoing-Boing is. Gerald McBoing-Boing is a... Just saying. Gerald McBoing-Boing is a guy, kid, child, who was born without the ability to speak. Instead, he can only do sound effects. You know, what developmental issue does Gerald McBoing-Boing have where he can't speak, but he can do sound effects perfectly? Like, he's making elephant noises, and he sounds like a real elephant. Like, I'm sure that Gerald McBoing-Boing could get a job doing, like doing special sound effects for movies, because he has an insane sound effect vocabulary. His human English vocabulary is garbage, but he can sound like literally anything, like a train, if he wanted to. Which is another reason I wanted to focus on the airplane bit, is that I was, like, thinking, like, oh, man, Gerald's gonna sound like a bomb, you know, like a tick. He's just gonna tick like a bomb. He's gonna make bomb noises, because bombs on planes, that's a good bit. That's a funny joke. Gerald has this, I guess you'd call it a disability. People seem to tolerate it, like, pretty good. Nobody really gives him a hard time about it. I mean, I wouldn't either. If I knew a fucking guy who could sound like a Tyrannosaurus Rex, no problem. You know, I wouldn't bully him either. I'd be like, damn, that's fucking cool. Especially since I want to make movies, I'd be getting this guy to be doing my sound effects for sure. But it is kind of bizarre, like, how cool his parents seem with it, you know? Like, I would be thinking his parents would be trying to get him to be able to communicate properly. At least be learning sign language or something. But it seems like they're just like, oh yeah, he'll do the fucking sound effects he needs. Yeah, we don't need to teach him to do sign language or to speak any language. He doesn't need to actually communicate with anybody. Oh, he needs to go to the bathroom? He'll just do a pissing sound effect. And then like a fucking toilet noise. And then people will be able to figure that out. Like, it's bad parenting. Like, somebody should really call, like, Child Protective Services or something, because, like, they don't do anything in any episode. Yeah, like, I think in the old show, if I'm not mistaken, in the old show, one of the early episodes was bringing in a doctor to look at him, which, like, that's responsible. That's the right thing to do. But in the remake of Gerald McBoing-Boing, the one that I grew up with, it appears to me that they don't give a shit. Gerald came out, and when the mom, you know, got her cesarean section to get Gerald pulled out, she was screaming, "Why isn't my baby crying? Why isn't my baby crying?" And the doctor was like, well, he's not crying, but, you know, we turned off all of our machines and stuff, and the noise in the hospital that you're hearing is your baby. Your baby is just doing hospital noises. Can you imagine Gerald being at school, and you know when you're a kid in school and you don't put your hand up and you don't want to answer the question and your teacher calls on you, and it's like, yes, Carmichael, what do you think the reason they beheaded all of the elite in France during the French Revolution? And then Carmichael has to be like, because the rich are bad? Gerald McBoing-Boing just goes, cha-ching, shoop. See, I can't do a good guillotine. I'm sure Gerald could do an awesome guillotine sound effect. But yeah, that's about all I got for Gerald McBoing-Boing. Have a good rest of your day.
The meatballs or the ice cream?
The cheese or the chocolate?